You're really marrying her? Nathan asked, raising an eyebrow as he straightened my tie. Yeah, I said, adjusting my cuffs. She's everything I ever wanted, man. You've seen her. I've seen her all right, beautiful. Sure. But love, he paused. You sure she loves you for you? I laughed. You sound like my mom. Well, maybe your mom's right. I didn't want to hear that. Not today. Not when Izzy was waiting for me at the altar in that ridiculous lace gown she'd flown to Paris to buy. I remember thinking, she looks like a dream. And she did. I love you, she whispered, when I slid the ring onto her finger. I'll never let you go, I whispered back. And I meant it. You bought the place? Izzy squealed, spinning in the middle of the penthouse. I smiled. You said you loved the view. This is insane, Ethan. Look at this marble. Is this Italian? Only the best for my wife? She wrapped her arms around me, perfume flooding my senses. I can't believe I landed a man like you. I didn't catch the flicker in her voice then. I was too busy imagining our forever. Ethan, you work too much, she said a few weeks later. You didn't even notice my new nails. I'm trying to close the Carter deal, Izzy. Just one more week and I'll be free, she pouted. You said that last week. I know. I'm sorry. Come here. Where she didn't move. Maybe I should just get my own place to stay during the week. You're barely here anyway. My heart dropped. What? Are you serious? She shrugged, scrolling her phone. Just saying. It feels like I'm married to your company. I sat beside her, reached for her hand, but she pulled it away. I'm building this for us, Izzy. For our future. Well, I'd like a husband in that future too. Is this the dress you liked? She asked, holding up a red designer. Peace. It's stunning, I said. It's 10 grand, she said. I hesitated. We just bought the apartment, she frowned. Are you saying no? No, I said quickly. You deserve it. Her smile returned instantly. I love you so much, I smiled back. But something inside me tightened. I shook it off. Mom, don't start. I sighed over the phone. I'm just saying, sweetheart, sometimes beauty is a mask. Izzy's not a mask, Mom. She's real. I'm sure she is. Just be careful. Money changes how people act. She's like this before the money. Exactly, Mom said. You should expand, Izzy said one night, sipping white wine. Why just one firm? You're smart enough to go global. It's risky. I need a big loan, so get one. You're Ethan Walker. They'll throw money at you, I laughed. You believe in me that much? She touched my arm. Of course I do. I stared at her. Her eyes sparkled in the dim light. Maybe this was what support looked like. You really think I should do it? I asked. I think you're wasting time if you don't. I signed the deal 2 weeks later. Congratulations, my lawyer said. You've just tripled your liability. It's worth it, I said. For the future, let's fly. To Santorini next month, Izzy said. Celebrate your expansion. I can't. I have to stay. There's a lot to manage now. She rolled her eyes. You're always working. What's the point of being rich if you're never around to enjoy it? I'm building something, Izzy. Yeah, she said. Building us. I know, but her tone wasn't happy. It was tired. Like she'd heard that promise before. Like she didn't believe me anymore. One night I came home early. She didn't hear me come in. No, he has no clue, she was saying into the phone. He just keeps working. It's pathetic. I stood frozen in the hallway. I know, Mason. I'm not staying forever. I just need to figure out how to get what I can first. My heart sank. My wife. Talking to her brother. Planning what? I don't even know. I stepped forward. She turned around, startled. Ethan, you're home early. Who were you talking to? Just Mason? What were you saying? She blinked. Nothing. Just family stuff. I stared at her. You said I'm pathetic. No, I didn't. You misheard. I didn't. Push. I couldn't. My chest was tight. My mind was a mess. I walked past her and into the bedroom. I didn't sleep that night. You trust her? Nathan asked me the next day. I don't know, I whispered. You think she married you for? Love. I thought so. She changed after the ring, Ethan. You know it. Maybe I changed. Or maybe He said she just got what she wanted and got bored. I hated hearing that, but deep down, I wondered if he was right. Izzy walked in while I was staring at the business expansion report. "You look dead," she said. "I'm just tired." She plopped onto the couch. So I was thinking maybe we can upgrade the car this month. "The Porsche feels cramped." "Izzy, we just spent everything on expansion. You'll make it back," she said. "You always do. That's not how it works." She narrowed her eyes. "So what? Now I can't want nice things." "I didn't say that. You're acting like a broke man, Ethan. I'm acting like a responsible one." And she scoffed and walked out. I stared at the door long after it closed. The next day, I met with the investors. "So," Mr. Hargrove said, flipping through pages. "You're all in?" "Yes," I said, signing the final page. He smiled. "Good luck, Ethan. You'll need it." I left the meeting feeling both powerful and terrified. My hands shook in the elevator. I texted Izzy, signed the deal, big things. Coming, she didn't reply. That night, I sat by the window of the penthouse and watched the city lights blink. My phone buzzed. "Izzy, buy me that Cartier bracelet tomorrow. The gold one. No congrats. No, I'm proud of you. It's just another price tag." I pulled out the photo from our wedding night. Her smile had looked so real then. Maybe I imagined the love. Maybe I built the whole fantasy myself. But it was too late now. I had built this world for her. And now I was risking everything to keep her asterisk. "Izzy, you okay?" I asked, setting the takeout on the counter. She didn't even look up from her phone. "Why didn't you get the tie from that place I like? They were closed. Got your second favorite." She let out a long sigh. "Never listen. I literally tried, Iz. You'd never try hard enough." I opened my mouth to argue, then shut it. Fighting over noodles? What were we even doing? "Where's the bracelet?" she asked 2 mornings later, sitting at the vanity. "What?" "Bracelet. The Cartier one I sent you?" "I didn't get a chance to." She slammed the brush down. "You said you'd handle it." "I said I'd try." Her lips curled. "But you bought yourself another watch last month, right?" "That was for the investor event." "It's not the same, right?" She cut me off. "Because your image matters more than me, Izzy. I'm doing everything I can." She stood, walked past me. "Not everything." "Nathan dropped by later that day. She's always like this now?" he asked, sipping beer. "Every day. It's like walking on eggshells. She'll still sleep in your bed?" I hesitated. "She says she's tired, or has a headache." Nathan shook his head. "Man, she's checked out. I'm trying to fix it." "Maybe it's not you who broke it." "You saw my brother today?" Izzy asked that evening, twirling her wine glass. "Yeah, Mason dropped by the office. Without telling me? He had some ideas for the expansion. Said you sent him?" "I didn't." Paused. "Then why? He probably just wanted a favor," she muttered. "Don't trust everything he says. I thought you two were close." She gave me a tight smile. "We're family." It doesn't mean I trust him. A few days later, I found her staring at the mirror in silence. "You good?" I asked. She blinked. "Do I look old?" "What?" "No. You're beautiful." "I saw a line under my eye today." I laughed softly. "It's nothing." She turned sharply. "Easy for you to say you're not the one everyone watches." "Who's everyone?" She didn't answer. "Izzy, we need to cut down spending for a while," I said during breakfast. She didn't even blink. "No, I'm serious. The expansion's draining cash. Then figure it out. Don't drag me into your stress. We're a team, aren't we?" Shh. She set her spoon down. "You decided to take that risk. Not me. But it was for us." "Keep saying that," she muttered. "But it never feels like it." I checked our accounts that night. The numbers didn't lie. We were bleeding money. New clothes, spa, retreats, gifts for her friends, Mason's investments. I sighed, rubbing my face. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't tell her. "Not yet." "Come with me to the gala this Friday," she said suddenly. "I have meetings till late. It's one night. Izzy, I'm trying to save this company." "You're trying to save yourself," she snapped. "That's not fair." neither's being married to a ghost. The night of the gala, she went alone. I watched her leave in a backless silver dress, heels clicking like thunder. No goodbye. No kiss, just silence. Why is your brother using our address for business mail? I asked the next morning. She shrugged. He said it's temporary. He has his own place. It's not a big deal, Ethan. It is when debt collectors start calling here. She slammed the fridge shut. She always turned everything into a problem, because I'm the one fixing the mess. She crossed her arms. Maybe if you were more focused on us and less on money, we wouldn't have a mess. My chest tightened. So this is my fault, isn't it? Nathan called that night. You good? He asked. No. You tell her you're sinking yet? Not yet. Why not? Because if I do, she might leave. He paused. And if you don't, she might leave anyway. Nails are chipped. Can you call Sasha and book me? Can't you text her? You know she only listens to you. I'm working. You're always working. I'm trying to stay afloat, Izzy. And maybe don't act like a millionaire when you're not one anymore. The words hit like ice water. What did you just say? She didn't answer. Just walked away. That night I came home early again. The living room lights were off, but I heard her voice. I can't take this anymore, she whispered. He's always tired. Always broke. I froze behind the door. No, Mason. I told you. I'm figuring it out. Just wait. I can't wait. For this to be over, I stepped in. Over. She jumped, phone falling from her hand. Ethan. Over what, Izzy? She fumbled. I was talking about I heard you. You're overreacting. I'm not blind. I'm not stupid. She crossed her arms. Then maybe act like a man. I stared at her. No apology? No explanation? Why should I apologize for telling the truth? So this is all fake. She said nothing. Answer me, I shouted. Her lips trembled. I thought you'd be different. You mean richer? I mean better. I took a step back. My heart was pounding. My hands shook. She turned her back. Go to sleep, Ethan.
Nice.
I sat on the couch, staring at nothing, while the weight of her words crushed me. I had built this life for her. And now, I wasn't sure she ever wanted me in it. Asterisk, you're pulling out? I said, gripping the edge of the table. Hargrove, we had a deal. We had one, he replied coolly. Before your numbers tanked last quarter, I can recover. He shook his head. I'm not risking my money on hope, Ethan. You should have seen this coming. I just need more time. This is business, not charity. He stood. Just like that, my last safety net vanished. Nathan waited outside the office, so he's out. Damn, what now? I don't. No, I said. I think I'm done. You're not done. You're cornered. Big difference. I couldn't even answer. My brain felt like static. Back home, I found Izzy on the couch, scrolling her phone with her legs stretched out. Hey, I said. She didn't look up. Where were you? At the office?
Us.
For 12 hours. I was trying to save us. Save. Us from what? I paused. Hargrove's gone. He pulled out. She blinked. What do you mean gone? I mean the investment's gone. The money's gone. It's over. She sat up slowly. You're saying we're broke? I'm saying we're in trouble. Her face twisted. And you're just telling me now? I didn't want to. Scare you? You didn't want to scare me? She shouted. So you kept me in the dark while everything fell apart. I was protecting you. You were lying to me. I was trying to hold it together. She stood, voice sharp. You promised me stability, a future. I didn't plan for this to happen. No, Ethan, you let it happen. Izzy, please, just... She held up a hand. Stop. Can we talk about this? There's nothing to talk about, she said, already heading toward the bedroom. Followed is don't do this. She flung open the closet. Do what? Walk away. She pulled down a suitcase. What else am I supposed to do? Stay. Help me rebuild. She laughed bitterly. Rebuild? You want me to stick around? While you scrape pennies? I need you. No, she snapped, shoving clothes into the bag. You need someone who doesn't exist anymore, Izzy. I'm still me. No, you're not. Her eyes filled with something between rage and disappointment. You're not the man I married. I stood frozen as she zipped her suitcase. Where? Will you go? She didn't answer. Mason's house. She glanced at me, jaw tight. At least he doesn't lie to me. Mason's been draining us too? She rolled her eyes. Of course. Blame him. I'm not blaming him. Desperate. I can't do this, Ethan. I didn't sign up for this. I took a step toward her. For what? Reality? For ruin. 10 minutes later, she was at the door, coat on, suitcase in hand. You're really leaving? I said. She nodded. No hug, no goodbye. I gave you chances, Ethan. You gave me excuses. I felt my throat close. I tried, and I'm tired. Mason appeared at the elevator, all smug confidence. Let's go, he said to her. She didn't even look back. Mason met my eyes, gave a mocking grin, and pulled the suitcase from her hand. The door clicked shut behind them. The silence hit like a slap. I stood in the hallway. Heart pounding, ears ringing. She left. She really left. I walked to the kitchen in a daze. Opened the fridge, then closed it without touching anything. My knees gave out. I sank to the floor. I stared at the tiles, blinking back tears. She's gone. I whispered to no one. Gone. And so was the business, the money, the future. My phone buzzed. A text from the bank. Payment overdue. Final warning. I let it fall to the floor. Get up, I told myself. I didn't move. Fix it. Still nothing. I don't know how long I sat there. Maybe hours. The apartment felt bigger without her. Colder, the night dragged on. My thoughts looped. She didn't even cry. She didn't fight for us. Was any of it real? I grabbed a glass of water. Hands shaking, looked at the reflection in the microwave door. I didn't recognize the man staring back. A knock on the door startled me. I opened it to find Nathan. You look like hell, he said. Izzy left. He nodded slowly. I figured she didn't even hesitate. Because she never loved you. She loved the lifestyle. I thought we had more. I know. I sank into the couch. It's all gone.
Not all.
I laughed bitterly. What's left, you? That's still something. We sat in silence. Nathan placed a beer in front of me. You gonna let this break you? I don't know. Then decide fast. Because rock bottom only lasts if you stay there. I wanted to believe him, but all I could feel was the emptiness. The weight of everything. I'd lost. The door still had her perfume clinging to it. The couch still had her imprint. The closet, half-dash, empty. Everything screamed her name, and yet she didn't. Look back. I think she planned it, I whispered. Nathan looked at me. Planned what? To leave. He didn't argue. I gave her everything. And now he said, you start with nothing. I nodded slowly. Then I guess it's time to see who I am without her. You're not answering the door again, are you? Nathan's voice echoed through the thin apartment walls as he banged harder. Ethan, open up. I swear I'll break this thing down. I didn't move. Okay, your silence is getting annoying now. The doorknob rattled. I stared at the cracked ceiling from the mattress on the floor. You've got 2 seconds before I yell loud enough to bring the landlord. It's open, I muttered hoarsely. Nathan shoved the door. Why do you look like a zombie? A zombie that got hit by a truck. I'm fine. You smell like expired sadness and floor ramen. You are not fine. I pulled the blanket higher. Go away. Nope. He kicked a pile of clothes aside. You've been lying in your own pit for 6 days? 5, I counted. 6? You've lost what, 10, 15 pounds? You look like someone drained the life out of you with a straw. I sat up slowly. She's gone, Nate. I know. And I hated her. I flinched. Yeah, I said it. From day one, I saw right. Through that fake laugh. The expensive perfume. The way she made you apologize for everything. She didn't... You're not the man I married? Really? After everything you did for her? He slammed a water bottle into my hand. Drink. I don't need your pity. This isn't pity. This is me refusing to let you rot. He looked around. You've got nothing left, huh? No. What about your car? Gone business. Liquidated. Friends? I stared at the wall. Not really. Well, you've got me. So suck it up. We're going outside. I blinked. Outside, he grabbed my arm. Yeah, where the sun lives. You remember the sun, don't you? I don't have money. I'm not asking for dinner at the Ritz. We're going to walk. Just walk. Or you can sit here and walk. Decompose. I groaned, but stood up, the blanket sliding off. Fine. 5 minutes? Good. But put on shoes, man. We're not cavemen. I feel stupid, I muttered as we crossed the street. You look stupid too, but that's not new. Nathan handed me a granola bar. Eat. I bit it reluctantly. Why are you doing this? Because I remember the kid who gave me his only lunch in 4th grade when my mom forgot again. That guy's still in there. Just buried under self-pity and crusty hoodies, I smirked weakly. You're dramatic. I watch a lot of sad anime. Helps me deal with emotionally constipated friends. Izzy said, I failed her, bro. She failed you. When she stopped holding your hand and started counting your paychecks, that wasn't love. She said I lied by not telling her how bad it got. Would it have changed anything? I didn't answer. Nathan stopped walking. Listen, you're allowed to grieve, but you don't get to let her define your worth. I gave her everything. She walked. That tells you everything you need to know. We sat on a bench near the river. A wind tugged at my sleeves. I stared at the water, quiet for a while. Loved money, I said. She married a version of you she thought came with no struggle. She said I was cold. You were stressed. That's different. I took a shaky breath. Mason looked happy when she left. Of course he did. He's a leech. Probably always hoped you'd fall. I don't know how to start over. Then start small. Like breathing, I'm not 12. Then work. Any job? Doing what? Doesn't matter. You got hands, legs, a brain? Use them. I let the silence stretch. I saw a notice for a warehouse night shift. Manuel, you interested? I guess. That's a yes. The next morning, I stood in a freezing warehouse holding a clipboard with a guy named Darren barking at me. Boxers over there. You move him here? No whining. Got it? I nodded. Good. You look like a quiet type. Keep it that way. By the 3rd hour, my arms burned. By the 6th, I was drenched in sweat. Nathan picked me up after shift. Well, my back is screaming, good pain. That's rebuilding pain. Weeks passed like that. Warehouse. Sleep. Warehouse. Sleep. Then Nathan got me a side gig delivering coffee to a law firm. Bro, your hands shake less now, he noted one night. That's because I can't feel them. He laughed. Welcome to the Bro Club. I looked around the studio we shared. Small, ugly, but safe. And I don't miss the penthouse. See, that's growth. I leaned against the wall. Sometimes I hear her voice. That's trauma, not love. She said I changed. You did. You stopped chasing her approval. I was wiping sweat from my face after work when Nathan tossed me a folded paper. What's this? Lease for a small place. 1 bedroom. You can afford it if you keep doing both jobs. You serious? You need your own space. Your own restart. I stared at it. Why are you helping me so much? He smiled. 'Cause someone helped me once when I had nothing. I looked down, heart pounding. Thanks, Nate, for not giving up. I never do, Ethan. That night I sat on a lumpy mattress, staring out the window of my new apartment. No chandelier. No silk sheets. Just me, the hum of traffic, and a quiet mind. I reached for my phone, not to call anyone, but to read something I'd screenshotted years ago. My mom's words from a birthday card. If love disappears with money, it was never love at all. I exhaled for the first time in weeks, without pain. Maybe I hadn't lost everything after all. Asterisk. I know this isn't your dream job, Clara said, sliding a folder across the cafe table. But it's a start. They're looking for someone with grit. Grit, I muttered, flipping it open. She smiled. Dignity's overrated. Passion isn't. I paused. You think I still have that? I've seen it. Even when you were a mess, you didn't stop asking questions about everything. I ask questions because I don't have answers. It's exactly why you'll fit in. The startup office was a crammed, chaotic loft above a printing shop. No AC, 2 dying fans, and desks made from plywood. Still, it felt better than any boardroom I'd ever sat in. "You're the new guy?" Someone called out over a pile of cables. "Yeah, I'm here to help. You got hands?" He smirked. "I do." "Then grab that router and pray it turns on." We laughed. It wasn't fake. It wasn't forced. It was the first laugh that didn't taste like ash in months. By day 2, I was fixing broken chairs, assembling server racks, and organizing code. Drafts I didn't fully understand. At night, I lived on instant noodles and dollar coffee in my studio. No bed frame, just a mattress on the floor. "Still better than sitting alone in a mansion waiting for someone who never loved me?" Clara texted. "Surviving your first week?" I replied, "Barely. But I don't want to quit." She answered instantly. "Good. That's how all great things begin." I stopped scrolling, staring at her name. I didn't want to read into it. One late evening, my coworker Benny turned to me and said, "Dude, why are you always the last one out?" I shrugged, because I'm building something, even if it's not mine. He nodded. Respect. I did. Meant something more than most of the boardroom praise I'd gotten back in the day. "Hey," asked one afternoon, "can I pitch something for the app?" The CTO blinked. "Sure. Got 2 minutes?" I pitched in 90 seconds. He leaned back. "Not bad. Build a rough wireframe. Let's see what you've got." I went home and stayed up till 3 a.m. sketching, Googling, testing. When I brought it in, Benny squinted at the screen. "Wait, you designed this?" I tried. "It doesn't suck. Thanks, I think." The CTO stared at it. "You built this over one night?" "Yeah, run with it." I couldn't stop smiling. It felt like I was a person again. It's not a failure. Not a pity case Clara called that evening. "How'd it go?" she asked. "I made something, and they didn't hate it. Proud of you." I owe you for the connection." "No," she said. "You owe yourself for showing up." A silence stretched between us, comfortable, like old times. Still, something inside me stayed locked. One night, I passed the mirror on the way to bed. I didn't look rich. I didn't look powerful. But I looked. A live ping. A text. From Izzy. "Hope you're okay." That's all she said. No apology. No regret. Just an empty check-in. I didn't reply. I set the phone down and walked to the window. The city looked different from my tiny studio. Like something I owned. More like something I wanted to earn again. "Still awake?" Nathan called when I answered his late-night FaceTime. "Yeah. Just thinking's a luxury." "You sleeping enough?" "Barely," he laughed. "Then you're doing it right." Smiled. "Look, man," he continued, "you're not who you were? That's a good thing. You think I've changed? I think you're becoming someone who doesn't need approval to breathe." I exhaled slowly. I don't know how to trust again. You don't have to. Just show up. Trust yourself first. A week later, the CTO invited me to a small idea session. "Got anything brewing?" he asked. "Maybe?" "Well, say it like you believe it." I leaned forward. "Wait. I think we're targeting the wrong demographic. There's a simpler path. Joe. Us." So I did. They listened. They actually listened. Clara dropped by the office a few days later. "This place is wild," she said, looking around at the cables and chaos. "It's home." "Kind of. You're glowing?" she said quietly. "I'm sweating," I laughed. "No, you're glowing." I looked down. It's been strange. I still feel broken. You don't have to be whole to rebuild. "Did you read that? In a fortune cookie?" She nudged me. "Maybe." I looked at her then. Same kind eyes, same steady voice, but I couldn't open the door. "Not yet." "You okay?" she asked. "I'm better than I was. Not ready, but better." She nodded. "Then, that's enough for today." That night, I sat on the floor of my apartment, eating noodles again. I remembered Mom's voice, like a whisper in the quiet. "If love disappears with money, It was never love at all. And just like that, the weight didn't crush me anymore. It still hurt, but I wasn't buried. Not anymore. Asterisk. You're not going to believe this. Nathan barged in like always, holding 2 takeaway coffees. Izzy, she's working at Velvet Lounge. I didn't look up. Velvet Lounge, yeah. That overpriced bar where they serve cocktails in gold-rimmed glasses and pretend it's classy. I took the coffee and finally looked him in the eye. So, the girl who left you because you lacked ambition is now bussing tables for drunk hedge fund bros. No. I stared at the steam rising from the lid. You sure it was her? Bro, I walked in, ordered a whiskey in there. She was name tag and everything. She looked like she hadn't slept in a week. I leaned back against the couch. Maybe she hasn't. He narrowed his eyes. That's it? No clapback? No gloating? No. Nathan exhaled. You're a weird man. I'm tired of her. Of everything. He leaned forward. Out. You know what else I heard? Mason's down too. 3 of his ventures went belly up. Some say he owes people. Big time. I didn't respond. You hearing me? I heard. Nathan studied me. You're quiet. Would shouting make any of it better? Paused. Honestly. Deserve to celebrate. There's nothing to celebrate. He shook his head. You're telling me you feel nothing? I didn't say that. Then what? I feel ... hollow. Like someone else's story is ending, but mine hasn't even started yet. Nathan sat beside me, sipping his coffee. That's dark, man. I'm just tired of being angry. You're not mad she got dumped by the guy she left you for? No, why not? 'Cause I don't want to be like her. Holding on to someone else's failure just to feel like I've won. Nathan stayed quiet for a second. Clara knows. What about Izzy?
Hey, Mom, maybe you should tell her.
I shook my head. She's not stupid. Tell when something's off. I exhaled slowly. She asked me yesterday if I'd moved on. What did you say? I didn't answer. Nathan tilted his head. You think she's wrong? I think I don't know. That's your answer then. I looked at him. Is it bad that I don't feel anything? No, it's worse if you pretend you do. That night, Clara called. Her voice had that usual warmth, the kind that made you forget your own mess. You sound tired, she said. Didn't sleep well. Work stuff, kind of. Silence lingered. You're distant lately, she added. No. She didn't push. Just said, want to talk? I don't think I'm ready. Fair. I bit my lip. Why do you stick around? 'Cause I know who you were before all this. I swallowed. And who's that? Someone who didn't. Let heartbreak mute his heartbeat. Her words echoed. Do you think I've changed that much? I think you're surviving, not living. Stay quiet. Maybe I'm wrong, she said softly. But that's what it feels like. You're not wrong. She paused. Then what now? I don't know. She exhaled. Okay, Clara. Yeah. Thank you for staying. You don't have to thank me. Just come back when you're ready. The call ended. For the next few days, her question stuck in my head. Have you truly moved on, or are you just surviving? Every step I took, that line shadowed me. At work, at home. In the silence of my tiny apartment, Nathan visited again. You look like you've been thinking. I have. He nodded. Clara. Yeah, still don't know what to tell her. I think I'm afraid if I admit I haven't moved on, I'll stay stuck. And if you admit you have, then I'll feel guilty for not feeling sadder. Nathan smiled faintly. Man, heartbreak logic is exhausting. I laughed a little. That's the first time I've laughed in a while. There he is, he grinned. I sighed. Do you think I'm broken? No, just bruised. You're healing. I sat up straighter. I think I need time and space and honesty. Nathan raised his coffee. To that. Later that night, I opened my phone. There it was, Izzy's message from days ago. Hope you're okay. I stared at it for a long time. Then, without a second thought, I deleted it. No reply, no anger, just closure. Is everyone ready? Jake asked, tapping my shoulder. Yeah, I nodded, palms sweaty against my cue cards. Let's get this over with. Our startup's first investor showcase. Months of caffeine, code, and chaos had led to this. I stepped on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, I began, forcing calm into my voice. Thank you for believing in a bunch of sleep-deprived maniacs with a dream. Laughter scattered through the room. I smiled. My heart slowed. This idea started in a cramped co-working space with instant noodles and 2 laptops. But today, it's real. Applause rose. I scanned the audience. It's familiar faces. Jake. Clara near the front. Then my breath hitched. Back row, near the door. Izzy. She stood quietly in a plain black dress. No designer logos. No diamonds. Just there. Her eyes were red. Not from makeup. From crying, I almost lost my place. I kept speaking. We're not just selling a product, we're rebuilding lives, including ours. Applause again. I wrapped up and stepped off the stage. Jake clapped my back. You crushed it, thanks, man. Leaned in, proud of you? I nodded, but I kept glancing back. Toward her, she waited. When the room began to clear, she stepped forward. Hi, she said softly. I didn't respond. I didn't come to ruin anything, she added. I needed to see you. My mouth stayed shut. She bit her lip. You look different. Silence. You look good, she corrected. Why are you here, Izzy? Asked finally. I heard about the event, she whispered. I've been following your progress? Quietly. Why? I don't know, she admitted. Maybe because watching you rebuild made me realize I tore it all down. I looked at her, no makeup, puffy eyes, trembling fingers, not the Izzy I remembered. Was stupid, she continued, blinded. I thought money would keep me warm, but it was cold, so damn cold. I sighed. I didn't know what I had, she said again, voice cracking. I stayed still. I left you for comfort, not love, she confessed. I wanted an easier life, but all I got was emptiness. You found someone richer, I said flatly. He used me, she whispered. I was just darm candy. Silence stretched. I lost everything, you know, she added. Mason's ventures tanked. The guy I left you for ghosted me. I've been waitressing. I blinked. Waitressing. At a bar. Fancy one, but still humiliating. She looked down. I serve drinks to men who remind me of how far I've fallen. I said nothing. She looked up, tears spilling. I thought you'd hate me. Maybe I deserve that. You don't get to decide what you deserve. She flinched. I thought you'd be smug, she continued, voice desperate. Cold. Peaceful I am, I said, because of her? She asked, eyes flicking toward Clara. She's not the reason, I replied. She's just someone who saw me healing and didn't run. Izzy reached out. Please, I know I messed up. But can we start again? No, I said gently. Her lip trembled. You don't even want to try? I loved you, I said. My voice quiet but firm. But you didn't love me. You loved the comfort, the idea.
Act.
That's not true. You left me when I was broke. I cut in. Now that I'm building again, you come back. Why? I miss you, she whispered. I miss your laugh. Your stupid morning songs, your ugly cooking. A smile tugged at the corner of my mouth, she noticed. Still in there? But it's not yours anymore, I said. Tears streamed down her face. I don't hate you, I added. But I'm not yours to hurt again. She sobbed. I stepped back. I'm sorry, she whispered. I know, I replied. I turned and walked away. I didn't look back. Outside, Clara leaned against the wall. You okay? She asked. Yeah, she was crying. I know. Did it help? She asked. Closure. I think so. She smiled. You're not surviving. Anymore? I looked at her. I'm not. You're healing. I am, I said. And this time, I'm not doing it for revenge. I'm doing it for me. Asterisk, is the 2 on the cover? Clara held the magazine up, a teasing smile tugging at her lips. I squinted at the glossy page. My own face stared back, awkward and surprised. God, they picked the worst picture. They called you a resilience icon. That's not a bad title. I shrugged. They don't know the half of it. You should let people see how far you've come, she said, placing the magazine on the table. Between us. It's inspiring. Depressing, depending on where they start. She laughed softly. You always downplay your wins. It's easier than admitting I care, do you? Her voice was gentle but firm. I met her eyes. Yeah, I do. The cafe buzzed around. Us. I stirred my coffee even though I wasn't adding anything. Clara had this way of pulling honesty out of me like thread. You've changed, she said suddenly. Not just grown, changed. Good changed? She nodded. You seem lighter, not just surviving anymore. I think about that question you asked me a while back. If I'd moved on, or was just surviving, and I didn't know the answer then. But now, I think I've started living again. She smiled, and for a second, it felt like the air had stilled around us. Then her phone buzzed, and the moment passed. I have to run, she said, standing. Talk tomorrow? Wouldn't miss it? After she left, I sat with my thoughts. They were kinder now, quieter. I'd learned to sit with them without being torn apart. Thanks for coming, Mr. Rhodes. The teacher's voice bounced off the gymnasium. Walls as the final bell rang. I turned to the group of students lingering near the stage. One girl raised her hand. How did you know you'd make it? I didn't, I said simply. I just knew I couldn't stay where I was. But weren't you scared? I smiled, terrified. Still am sometimes. So what changed? I stopped waiting for things. To be perfect, I started where I was with what I had. Cheap laptop, instant noodles, stubborn belief that I wasn't finished yet. They clapped, but it wasn't for the speech, it was for the hope it carried. Later, I sat on the riverbank with my journal open across my knees. The breeze was warm, familiar. Healing my pen hovered for a long time before I wrote, losing. It all gave me everything I needed. I stared at those words. I didn't want to forget them, not even if success someday tried to rewrite the pain that had carved this path. My phone vibrated. Clara, they want you for a radio interview. Big one. Interested. I texted back. Me. Only if you come too. Clara. Deal. We sat outside the studio afterward, laughing over the interviewer's attempt to pronounce my startup's name.
Ow.
Next time we pick something simple. Clara. Joked like Hope Inc. or Phoenix Rising. Clara & Co. has a nice ring, I said. She arched a brow. Are you flirting with me, Mr. Rhodes? Maybe? Her laugh was soft. Well, maybe I don't mind anymore. I leaned back on the bench, letting the sun warm my face. The silence between us wasn't heavy. It was full. Do you ever think about what you'd tell the version of you from 2 years ago? She asked. To stop trying to prove his worth to people who never saw it. And what would he say back? I looked at her. Probably something like, but what if I never get another chance? She reached over, her fingers brushing mine. Then I'd answer him for you. You will. It's just not the one you expect. Weeks passed. The startup grew slowly, carefully. We were building something that mattered, not just something that sold. I visited more schools, more community centers. Each time, I shared less about success and more about mistakes. Failure taught me more than winning ever did. I told a room full of restless teenagers, but only because I chose to learn from it. A boy at the back asked, "Do you ever regret trusting the wrong people?" I paused. No, because they taught me how to recognize the right ones. Clara clapped first. Always the first. That night, I walked past the bar where Izzy used to work. The lights were dim, empty, closed down maybe. I didn't pause, I didn't need to. At home, I opened the journal again and scribbled. Closure doesn't always come in words. Sometimes, it's in the silence where you feel nothing. They smiled at that. You're glowing, Clara said when I met her at the park the next day. Must be the caffeine and humility. You've really changed. You've said that before. Ill? Keep saying it until you believe it. We walked quietly for a while. Then she stopped near the edge of the river. So where do we go from here? I turned to face her. Wherever we want. She looked up. Are you ready? Yeah, I said. I think I'm